Sounds like they're at it again. Petrol bombs. You can't tell whether they're Catholic or Protestant. Here we are, in a land that's geographically a part of Ireland, but is a political part of Britain. This part of Ireland is packed with Protestants, but there is a large minority who, like myself, profess the old, or as we prefer to think, the true faith. And we boil and moil like a pot of oatmeal somebody put on the stove and forgot to watch. Once so busy avoiding trouble, there isn't time to argue who's to blame. Me, I stick to essentials. Stay out, and keep your eye on what counts. She does. Twice a week, 3 times if I'm lucky. We spend some time together, right here beside the smelly old lagoon. It runs down to the sea and to England. We'll go there one day. We have no other course. Her family's Protestant, you see, and, well, there'd be trouble.
Ryan.
You're late.
Not much.
Oh, I worried when I heard the explosions.
I look out for myself.
Amazing.
What is?
That we're happy in the midst of so much misery.
Aren't lovers supposed to be?
Oh, there's nothing amusing about bullet-riddled babies at funerals. Mass funerals.
It's armor, like the boats.
There's a big one. Sailing to Liverpool, I'll bet.
We'll be on a steamer one day.
Oh, I wish I had a real job instead of a pretend one. They want to visit the laundry.
Who does?
Brother Jimmy, for one.
Think you suspect?
Just the opposite. I made the mistake of telling the family that my employer was an Orangeman who hired me because Protestant lads are busy elsewhere, dynamiting public washrooms, things like that. I painted a vivid picture of Mr. Stovers, the soul of tolerance.
Jimmy can't believe it and wants to meet him.
Jimmy can believe it, wants to shoot him. The family does have a long history in the cause. That's why I sometimes feel the sin tapped out.
I have similar feelings. I also love you. That's why we meet here, hiding from both sides, looking at the moon, watching the boats, and wishing.
Wishing. Yes. Wishing's fun.
I met him last year at Queen's University here in Belfast, first term biology. By the second lab, we were into the poor pickled frogs. I was having a terrible time with the scalpels. He came up and said, "You're making an awful batch of your guts." And then he offered to help. We started seeing each other before and after classes. By the time I realized that he wore a holy medal, it was too late. But maybe I knew before that. He lives in the Lower Falls area, and you don't find many Protestants there. Why, if either of our families knew, it would be awful. Though it's a wonderful thing to be in love. Real love. Where you feel the same about each other.
Kate, look, quick. She's weighing anchor. She has staterooms for passengers.
We will travel on one of those, won't we?
Of course, Mr. and Mrs.
Oh, but you say your brother...
He suspects something.
Well, where is he tonight?
Out with some of the old sweats.
They still working to recruit her?
Why not? Jimmy's of age, anti-union, and of a hot temper.
Like you.
Runs in the family.
Well, you haven't joined the provost.
Neither has Jimmy. Yet.
Will he?
Afraid so.
Then he'll be out shooting trots, trying to make it look like our side's responsible.
Kate, love, our boys don't do all the killings.
Still, over 500 killed within the past few years.
And we're all good Christians.
Facts are facts.
Oh, forget the bloody facts.
There's the temper. Oh, Bri, you can't deny it. Jimmy's on his way to becoming a full-fledged terrorist gunman.
He didn't take a gun.
Did he take anything?
A little Belfast confetti.
And now he's out hunting Protestants with ball bearings and scrap metal.
They say it takes education to make a temperate man. Oh, Mum can only pay the university fees for one, and Jimmy was already working, or trying to.
Please, not that old song.
Well, Jimmy's strapping, and damned if he could work in the shipyard. It's run by Orangemen. There are circumstances that explain Jimmy. Our father died in a British jail.
But risking his neck to help the cause in Dublin.
He had to. He was Sinn Féin ever since he was
a broth of a boy in Derry. You told me.
You can't just dismiss the movement. Sinn Féin goes back a long, long way.
Sinn Féin. Ourselves alone. Ireland, just for the Irish.
So I believe we'd best drop it.
When I spoke of Jimmy, I was only interested in avoiding trouble.
I can handle him.
And his bomb-tossing girlfriend?
To my knowledge, Sheila doesn't throw bombs.
He claims she'd like to.
She's bonkers over Jimmy and wants to impress him.
She been hanging around your flat?
She lives next door.
Prying? Watching you?
Why would she? They're convinced I work in a Presbyterian laundry. I'm more worried about your cousin Nick, who plays cornet in the Gertrude Street Orange Band.
He's hardly ever around.
Too busy parading in Catholic neighborhoods. I'd like to see his horn, but it's dented from bashing nuns.
Pry!
And Nick's only your cousin. What about your sister Nancy? A nice, friendly bigot.
Brian, this is Kate you're talking to.
I'm sorry, but the town inspires it. Slogans on every wall, rats out of nowhere, sniper fire all day, riots all night. I get nervous. We're pushing our luck. Do they still think you're attending night chemistry labs? What do they want to know what you're studying?
I'll tell them I'm learning to mix nitro to demolish church Madonnas.
Kate.
Actually, the family prefers to ignore the university. They'll never forgive me for taking that scholarship. And they'd rather forget that there's a place where people might learn that hating and murdering in whatever cause only produces more of the same.
Oh, I hope you're right. I couldn't stand to lose this.
Oh, we won't, so long as we have our Sinn Féin.
Our Sinn Féin?
Yes, our personal private membership club, here among the friendly rats. For us, ourselves alone includes just 2.
Oh, Kate.
It's true. If we're strong, together, one night that moon will light our passage to where we both want to go.
To a land of peace.
To where our children will learn to grow up without fear. Are there places like that?
Down under, for one. New Zealand.
We'll go, provided we don't swallow their poison. They'd like us to quarrel, to think this wrong.
It couldn't be. It's too far.
So we must never let them in. Ourselves alone.
Ourselves alone. Moon, I adore this Colleen. And you're damn lucky to attend these meetings of mine and Kate's. Oh, Kate, do you honestly think we can get out?
Don't you?
Sometimes I worry.
What if we live by the pact? Ourselves alone.
Yes, the pact. Oh, I'm happier than I've ever been. Being here with you, and to hell with them, for all the rest of our lives. We got to visit her.
Nancy! Chemistry, is it? And I suppose that's one of your experiments.
The name is Brian.
Why aren't you working tonight?
More important things to do. Another waitress is filling in.
But where'd you come from?
The motor yard across the street. I was also there 2 nights ago. I watched everything. I protect my little sis that way.
In plain words, you've been spying.
Nancy, that's unforgivable.
I'd say it's you standing in need of forgiveness.
A busybody.
Please, Bri.
Bry, is it? Very cozy.
You should have been more careful.
Well, she was. As careful as she could be.
How'd you find out then?
It occurred to me you were acting funny. I said to myself, Kate looks stuck on somebody.
Well, Brian's from school.
We've been going over class notes.
We like to study in private.
It soon dawned on me you'd lost your head over some boy. Some college socialist anarchist. God defend us. So I took a little trip through your things.
You search my personal things?
The situation is serious, Catherine. I'll move to serious measures.
Who appointed you head of the family?
When I got a responsibility, I'd face it. The old woman half out of her wits and the old man forever down at the pub. I have to be the one. Young girl's the man looking after these days. The city's crawling with Catholic fools who'd as soon rape you as tip their caps.
Unbelievable.
What were you searching for in my room?
Books. Now, I never had the benefit of a la-di-da education, but I can read. And amongst your books, there is not one dealing with chemistry. I decided I'd better find out what you were up to at night.
So you followed me here?
Yes. Now, I don't suppose I can begrudge you a young man, even though I've had time for none. But I will not have you associate with some godless student.
Bri is very religious. In his own way.
Well, then let him come to the flat and pay court like any proper Protestant lad.
A bit of a problem there. I'm a Catholic.
Kate wouldn't sink that low. She wouldn't be walking out with him.
It's true, Nancy.
Where do you live?
Percy Street.
The North End? Bashankill Road?
Oh, that's Orange territory. I'm down south, near Falls Road, where British troops beat the hell out of a group of residents a few months back. Drop over, I'll take you on a tour of the bloodstains.
God help us, Kate, you really done it. Why didn't you go dancing with the Antichrist while you were at it?
Truthfully, I'm believe that you know.
I'm taking you home.
No!
Look, I can understand. He took advantage of you, lied about himself. Oh, they're quick with the words and fancy talk. Kate, God knows I've no wish to do anything but save you from a fate you'd regret the rest of your life. It'd be easy to say forget it. We're different brands of the same Christian faith. But it ain't that easy. They hate us. The Catholics here whine about being downtrodden, but they really want us to be rid of us, and they're killing us with their bombs and terrorist sniping. Children in school buses, anybody in the wrong neighborhood. Well, we have our devices to prevent that. If we didn't fight back, we'd be dead.
Nancy, I'm in love with Brian. I knew what he was.
Oh, thank God Cousin Nick is sending his chums.
What?
Wait, let me talk to her. Maybe I can explain. Nancy, there's nothing you can do. I love Brian. He loves me. And after we're out of the university and have a bit of money, we plan to be married.
And give up everything your family and your friends have stood for. You're daft. Where are they? I told Nick 9 sharp.
We'd best leave.
Wait, you're coming home, Miss Kate.
After you've cooled down.
Come on.
Good evening, Nancy. Sorry I'm late. I came around the long way.
Where's Philip?
He came around the regular way.
In case you needed both ends followed up.
This the one?
That's him.
So, there was a good reason for playing detective.
Reasons you can't guess. She met him at school.
He doesn't look like one of them university pansies.
You ain't heard his religion. Percy Street. The South End. Roman Catholic through and through.
Oh my NRC pansy.
Too bad Nicky couldn't have come along.
He might be by later. He'd have been here now had he known his cousin was keeping company with an idol kisser.
He thought this was strictly minor. He went out to fry bigger fish.
Oh, this Nick is prowling tonight, is he?
There's lots of boyos out prowling tonight, sweetheart. It promises to be a top evening for the orange.
Lucky Nick, here's where the sport is.
Not necessarily.
What do you want done with him?
Kate, it's time to go home.
What you going to do?
Nothing while you're here.
I'm not going.
Go on, Kate.
Sure now, we'll take really good care of him.
When Cousin Nick gives an order, he's confident it will be carried out by his troops.
His thugs.
We have been duly authorized to escort Miss Kate home.
Away from this here popish environment, I could practically smell the incense.
So, sweetheart, escort her we shall.
No.
But, Miss Kate, if you want to leave, Philip and me might end up doing something nasty, like smearing him all over the pier.
Try!
Pretty cocky, ain't you?
Showing off in front of his girl.
Nancy, you wouldn't let them hurt him.
He'd stayed away from you. You have nothing to worry about.
I won't let them get away with this.
Kate, in the long run, it won't change anything.
Now, there you're wrong. You may not think so now, boy, but you will, you will.
Jesus, we're back where we started. I was working up to a lively goal.
I'll give you a lively go.
Well, that's a good lad.
Wait! I'll go! That's what they want, to separate us. Maybe if I go, they'll be reasonable.
Come on, man, let's mix it up.
Sure now, nothing's gonna happen tonight. We just want to talk to the boy and explain things to him.
Remember, ourselves alone.
Don't let them keep me from you, Kate.
Now behave yourself, and you'll have a nice toddle home. Philip will see to that.
Coming, Charlie?
As soon as I have one last word with Loverboy here. Might we step away so as not to offend feminine ears?
Watch him cry.
Oh, nothing like that. Just a wee bit of man talk. Don't go near Nancy's sister again. I'm telling you, like a gentleman. Now come along.
Hold her, but I her watch. She's the one doing it.
Nancy, stop it! Make them stop!
Shut up! You're doing it.
Please!
You're the one who did this to him.
Stop it! Let me go! Brian! Brian!
You'll recover this time, but next time I may not be so gentle. A little exercise certainly tones up the circulation.
God.
Charles, me boy, you have all the fun.
You see now, you're bad for his health. You're doing him no bit of good.
That'll teach him to stay away from decent people. Him and the whole murdering crew.
Shall we go along? And don't keep looking back, eh? And remember the dear boy as he was, because I don't think he'll be coming back for another lesson.
Want to hang around? Because if you do, we'll give him a bit of the same.
Take your scummy hands off. I'll walk by myself.
Onward, Christian soldiers.
Cousin Nick would be proud.
Yes, he would. Still, I'd rather have left the RC dead.
Jesus and Mary. A tank with legs.
Brian,
Sheila.
am I anywhere near the Stover's Presbyterian Laundry?
What?
I don't see any hampers, nor your baggage.
Baggage?
Girl,
What makes you think I came here with a girl?
did you come down here to look at the moon? It's hardly a place for entertainment.
You're absolutely right about that.
Somebody roughed you up.
Mostly they kicked me.
Who are they?
I have no idea. They must have mixed me up with somebody else, or we're out to have a good time.
Did they run your girl off?
How do you know about her?
Jimmy knew you were lying,
He did?
and some have been watching.
You mean the sweats have been tailing me?
That's how I phoned you.
Why did Jimmy speak of it?
Maybe he thought a bit of fluff was all right, that you had the right to some romance, seeing as how you had time to spare. Time you won't spend helping the cause.
No recruiting speeches, Sheila. I'm not feeling up to listening.
You will listen. This is urgent. It's Jimmy. He's safe now, thank God. Resting well.
Safe?
In the hospital. He took a bullet in the backside, insulting more than damaging.
Whose bullet?
Somebody in the crowd warned him from up north. I wasn't there. He phoned me from the emergency room, though I gather they had a pretty stiff exchange.
He went looking for trouble, but bullets? I won't have pulled on an old Jim.
Good for you.
Is he all right?
Physically, when he caught, he was flat on his belly and cussing so hard that the sisters prayed for his soul. He wanted me to know he was all right. I guess he was also hoping he'd take some action. He wasn't explicit about it, though.
Action? You mean reprisals?
Call it anything you like.
I will take action.
Now you're sounding like one of the old boyos.
Let's hope not.
Brian, you got slammed tonight.
Just something I have to live with.
No, it's one more score to settle. Do you know their names?
I know who they are.
Then let's round up a platoon and take after them.
No!
Why not? Is it the girl?
Yes. They're relatives and friends. That's why.
Brian, you're not serious about some orangeman's daughter. How is it possible?
Ask my glands.
Don't be flip. Your brother's lying on a martyr's bed.
Arsed upwards, hardly the martyr's position.
Well, you're fooling around with some little Protestant slut.
Watch your mouth.
Mighty particular all of a sudden, aren't we?
I mean to marry the girl.
Marry? You're a disgrace to your church.
I disagree.
To Ireland, to the Irish Republican Army, to all those who died trying to unite this country.
Please.
You've turned into a lovesick coward.
Leave my personal life out.
Have you no pride? No.
I said leave it out.
All right. What's your plan?
I'll place the matter in the hands of the police.
The RUC?
Exactly.
The girl has deprived you of any sense at all.
Sheila?
Do you seriously expect a Catholic to obtain justice from the Royal Ulster Constabulary?
What's the alternative? There's blood enough in the Belfast gutters. Maybe they're not perfectly fair, but they're the only police we've got.
No, they're not.
What do you mean?
There's the IRA.
The purpose of the IRA is not justice. It's to reunite Northern Ireland with the rest of the country.
For God's sake, Brian, they're the only defense we have. We're a minority in our own country. Protestants sit in Parliament, live in the best houses, have the best jobs. Out of 10,000 workers in these shipyards, only 400 are Roman Catholic. Police search and seize without warrant, imprison without trial. They call for British troops. What are you gonna do? Do you like what happened to you, or what happened to your brother Jimmy?
How can you say that?
Then forget the police and do something for yourself. You need this.
How long have you been toting this?
Ever since my old man got back from prison. Brian, the state of Ulster was created to keep Ireland separate. You defend something immoral with immoral means.
No!
Listen to me. We must continue to fight until Ireland is reunited or the Protestants are dead, or both. That's how you pay him back for Jimmy. What a fool you are!
I hear someone. Better go.
Only out of sight, till we see who it is.
Hello. It's the location of the party?
It was.
Looks like it's over.
It was lively while it lasted.
My name's Nicholas.
Oh, Cousin Nick. They said you might show up.
Had other matters on the docket first.
I heard you were keen on that sort of fun.
Judging by the looks of you, you must be the guest of honor. Can't go home?
Like a prisoner. Under guard.
How come you're still around?
I crawl slowly.
Work you over, did they? I'm surprised.
You're a poor liar.
No, look, fella, God's truth. No rough stuff was planned. My friends were here just in case.
In case what?
In case you're a troublemaker, a bad sort.
Your friends discovered I am not merely a bad sort. I'm the worst.
Come again. You're joking.
Do I look like I'm joking?
What part of town are you from?
Percy Street, South End.
Wish I'd known. I dropped everything to be here.
Your thugs handled the stomping nicely, so let's call it a draw. Unless you care to go one-on-one.
I'm stronger.
Stronger is not smarter.
Strong for pulling and shoving skids of paper 9 hours a day.
Oh, you're a printing house man, eh?
Yeah, union shop. 100% Protestant.
Aren't they all, Nicky?
You snotty Roman punk. Oh, you had your punishment already. You'll get another dose as there's another offense.
What kind of offense?
Seeing Kate, phoning Kate, or otherwise attempting to communicate.
Go to hell.
You define me, Irish?
I love Kate, and the feeling's mutual, and we'll see each other whenever we please.
Where'd you meet her?
Queen's U, biology lab.
Bet you're interested in biology.
Make your point or get out of here, Nick.
The point is this. Stay clear of Cousin Kate, for good. I'll fix you the way I fixed some of your kind this very night.
Oh, you roughed up an old priest or two, did ya?
No, we give what for to some lamos in your neighborhood. Let us mouth the vow and forget us for a while. Him we shot right in the backside.
Sheila.
Right here.
What's this?
She's a friend of my brother. Hear what he said?
Every word.
What's all this about?
My brother ran into trouble tonight.
Trouble with some orange bullies.
Jimmy's in the hospital this minute.
Suffering a bullet where he sits.
Beginning to see the connection? You said you were around the falls earlier.
My mistake. I meant Andersontown.
Oh, come on, Nicky. There won't be 2 bullets in 2 RC rums in 2 parts of town the same evening. Who shot my brother? You or one of your pals?
Go ask the victim.
Talk's no good. He'll keep spitting in our faces. However, there is a method.
Let's haul him to the police.
Police, fine.
You seem pretty relaxed about it.
Well, they're probably safer than a couple RCs on a lonely dock. One of them with a loaded pistol.
Don't you see, Brian? He's not a bit worried. He'll go free. They won't do anything to him.
What do you want me to do? Take the gun and kill him?
You let him get away with anything. The man who did it admits it in front of you, and you do nothing.
Jimmy's alive. He'll recover.
What about next time?
I won't kill a man in cold blood.
So put a bullet through his knee. He'll survive, but he won't go around throwing bombs and shooting people.
You're a queer lot, you Irish Catholics. Like a pack of jungle animals with a sentimental streak. The IRA, they're extremists and terrorists. They'll cause so much trouble and unrest and terror. The British will give up and turn the country over to them. They plant bombs in hospitals and schools. They create incidents for the publicity. Worse yet, they're dragging their own people in their filthy, murdering ways. This girl's caught their disease.
Shut up. Who shot Jimmy?
Probably a man with a gun.
Try again.
Sheila, give me the gun and go phone the police.
No, I want him to admit it.
Nick!
Hello, Nicky.
Nick!
I do believe the investigation's over.
Nicky, have you seen... Hold it.
Is she here? Who is that? One more move from any of you, and he gets it.
She's serious, lads. She's a pacifist like Loverboy.
Let me at her. We need to worry about him.
Oh, Kate could fall for such a...
She and this Blarney merchant want to get married.
And south of New Zealand, leaving all those evil folks behind.
Not if I can help it.
For once, I agree.
No favors from your side, thanks.
Get back to the question. Who shot my brother, Jimmy?
Sweetheart, he's not on the grill no more.
That says otherwise.
Jim is his brother? Right, somebody shot an RC over the falls tonight. His brother and her playmate.
But where's Kate?
She was with you.
She acted calm when we started out. Then all of a sudden she shot poor Phil and ran off around the corner. Thought she might come back here.
Not a sign.
Well, what do we do now?
Since this revolver is loaded and I'm willing to use it, I'd say it's up to me.
A persuasive argument.
Rush him, Nicky! There's a lot of you cowards!
We've a fondness for breathing.
Get back to the question. Who shot Jimmy?
Now you're acting like a man.
You won't use that. Look at his hand, jigging like jelly.
You gotta take that, Brian.
Let's rush him. Caution! He'll never shoot. Still, he can mow you down by accident.
Brian, shoot them.
Philip's right, he won't shoot on purpose.
He's from the university.
He'd rather dress up in pink tights and dance the ballet.
Shoot!
She's the man.
Stop it!
Gunner snipe.
Hooligan,
Let me
jump
out.
in your slot.
Stop it!
Filthy bigot!
I will kiss the Pope's ring.
Shut up!
turned out to be a lively evening, eh, sweetheart?
Who shot Jimmy?
Easy.
Talk!
If you won't talk, blow his head off.
You are going to make a confession, aren't you? Like any good Catholic?
Sure now. I'll be able to consider it. Just can't get my thoughts stumbled like a cannon in my ear.
Carefully he doesn't trick ya. Pull back the hammer.
I plan to count 5. And if you don't spill, I'll spill your brains.
You want to rush him? Do it now, for God's sake.
1,
Holy heaven, I think the boy means it.
2.
Your brother will be so proud of you, Brian.
Shut up! This is it, Nikki.
Don't! Brian, what are you doing?
Kate,
Why do you have a gun?
he shot my brother. I was trying to make it admit it.
I put you in a revolver. His head would if it went off.
I didn't intend it to go off. After he confessed, I was going to call the police.
Who's this?
Jimmy's girl.
Is your brother dead?
No, but he suffered a terrible wound in the pride.
And for that you risk killing someone?
Well, they kept yapping and cursing.
It's a blessing I arrived when I did, else the pact would have been broken for sure.
Yes, the pact. But the man need the will of a saint not to be moved, and that is by this crowd.
The will of a saint, or the love of someone.
Jesus, a near thing.
Bry has cause to kill. Those guerrillas beat the hell out of him. I know. Did you arrange that, Nick?
I did not. All the same, I approve heartedly.
It requires stern measures to prevent a romance, which is an affront to God's eyes. An affront to your closed minds, you mean? You prattle about how religious you are. Why, if our Lord Jesus himself walked in here this minute and saw what you do in his name, the lot of you, he'd probably say, I'll stick to carpentry. On top of her other sins, she blasphemed.
Why'd you come back, Kate?
To find you, to do what you intended. Contact the authorities. I did. You phoned the RUC? No, I went in person, and they promised to send someone here soon.
Katie, why?
Because of the assault on Brian. I want justice done. I'm your sister. He's going to be my husband.
Listen, if the coppers are on the way, let's not stand around.
Right. Relax. Uncle Felix will put the fix in.
Uncle Felix is only a constable. I spoke with the chief inspector.
On second thought, your suggestion is merit. Go check whether it's clear.
Traitor! I disown you! Thank you. That'll make things easier. To turn on your poor family! You should be shot! Oh, that's the only solution you can find! But Brian and I don't believe in that! We refuse to sentence our children and our grandchildren to your type of life!
I hear a siren, come on!
You listen to her, Brian, and you'll bring shame on generations of Irish heroes.
What I almost did would have brought shame on myself.
God, how she's brainwashed you! Hand me back my gun!
No.
You really think you can make it with the likes of him? Yes. After all they've done to us? All the more reason to try.
It's a long trip between here and the Alta, Katie. At least you booked steamer passage this very night. Still have to live in old Belfast for a while.
Not in our flats. Jimmy will feel the same about
We'll
his.
see how you hold out.
You see how it is.
Is everybody dropped? There's a siren wailing up the riverfront. Let's go.
God help ya. 'Cause we won't.
Amen to that.
There are absolutely no words for you, Brian. How about human beings? You'll never pull it off, you know. Under the skin, there's Irish blood. It's the blood of the patriots. As for your magic boat, we'll be working to guarantee she never sails. We must. Or you make our struggle meaningless.
Oh, Kate. I almost blew it for the both of us.
Do you love me, Brian?
Oh, unbelievably.
And do you believe that there's a better way than an eye for an eye?
God, there must be.
But do you believe that there is?
I try. Tonight I weakened, but I do try.
I know it's easy to go their way, but we must hold on
To each other.
to the pact, ourselves alone. Paxton, look at what's around you. Look at me. Look at only me. And remember that boat. Some night she may take us out under the very same